Hey, what's going on, guys? I am XDRX, and after a long fucking time, I have finally got around to recording a new Uncharted multiplayer video. Jesus. I got a new mic to record, so now the audio clarity is way better. And I know I'm way behind in the Uncharted community in terms of updates, so I'm sorry for regurgitating old news, but all that aside, let's just get right into this. Now, first things first, dear God, we finally got something we've been waiting for a long while. Classic mode. Just beta, but still better than Bounty Hunter, I think. The overall opinion is fairly positive, though not without its fair share of criticism. And I think the best way I heard it put is that it should have been there a long time ago, or even from launch. Now, would I agree that it should have been there since launch? Actually, I have a rather unpopular opinion regarding the game modes. I'll get to that towards the end of the video, so sit tight for a minute. I promise, this isn't me milking the AdSense. My AdSense isn't even fucking enabled. Now, another thing I want to bring up is Naughty Dog did not learn their lesson from factions, oh my god. By that, I mean this. You remember this stupid thing? The Spectre? Of course you remember it. How can you forget the notoriously overpowered bullshit for the people with extra cash? Well, as much as the community already knows, they did it again with their new updates. They are selling completely new guns, skills, and mythicals, which many people, including myself, believe are overpowered or unnecessary. Do I have an issue with the fact that they're selling DLC like this? Yes and no. Weapons, skills, and mythicals can be nerfed or buffed in any patch. My issue is with microtransactions themselves. Taunts, skins, and weapon customizations are totally fine. When you sell completely new weapons that aren't immediately accessible to the entire online community, you put much of your community at an unnecessary disadvantage, in that they have to adapt to these new weapons, knowing they aren't going to have enough time to see a weakness or know how to defend themselves against this weapon. The P90 is a good example that I can recall. I'm sure a few of us can agree our first experience against a P90 wasn't a pleasant one. And it's not even that the weapon itself is overpowered. It's just for a while, no one knows what to do against it. And no, this whole effect doesn't last long, it's just annoying as hell. And the last thing I want to touch on regarding the multiplayer is the introduction of the co-op mode, or survival as Naughty Dog is calling it. My response, thank you for adding it, Naughty Dog, but I think you've added this a game too late. It really should have been in factions too. Don't get me wrong, it's great that you're adding it, and I'm sure it'll still be a blast to play with friends. For those of you who are left out of the loop, the short version is this. Survival mode is for 1 to 3 players, on which you or your group can take on up to 50 waves of enemies, and each wave brings something different. Remember Siege, Plunder, and Survival from the co-op arena in Uncharted 3? It'll be like that, but with other objectives as well. Like, only headshots count towards goals, I believe is one of them. Much like Classic Mode, a lot of people are a bit critical of Naughty Dog in that they believe co-op should have already been there since launch. Do I agree? Well, going back to what I said earlier regarding my unpopular opinion on this, I'd have to answer that question with another question. Is Uncharted 4 the same game as Uncharted 3? No, it's not. Based on the experience from the game, a lot of people expect Uncharted 4 to have everything Uncharted 3 did, and then some, in terms of the multiplayer. Is that really a fair expectation, though? Uncharted 4 is the end of the franchise, for now anyway. So it's reasonable to assume they spent more time on the campaign than the MP, and I applaud Naughty Dog for that. Uncharted has always been a story-driven game. What happened when they spent more time on the MP instead of the campaign? Uncharted 3's campaign happened, though that's up for debate. You know, a lot of people could blame that on the B team that worked on it, but regardless. Uncharted 4's MP is also on a different server than Uncharted 3, I believe. And it's a more demanding game, you know, it's current gen console. To have a few things here and there from the Uncharted 3 multiplayer added to the Uncharted 4 multiplayer, that's reasonable. To say that most of the Uncharted 3 multiplayer game modes should have been in Uncharted 4 since launch, that's pushing it in my opinion. I'm interested to know what you guys think, so let me know down in the comments below if you think classic mode and the like should have been there since launch, or you're okay that Naughty Dog added these game modes periodically and updates every so often. Let me know if you agree with me, let me know if you disagree with me. I'm sure you'll be vocal about it in the comments down below. Until next time guys, I'm XDRX and that concludes this thoughts video. See ya.